Hi, I'm Sam, I'm 33, I'm single, and I have a PSA for the single men, okay? If a girl asks you for a FaceTime call before a date, you do not need to take it from your corporate desk setup and have your camera like be moving with you. This is not an interview, this is a vibe check. You can be comfy on your couch.
I'm really starting to wonder, they do still teach biology in school, right? Or do a lot of individuals simply choose not to pay any attention?
And the thing I hear most from women when they're in a social situation is, I'm out, I'm single, I'm ready to mingle, I look amazing, and no men approach me ever. They don't even try. They don't even come up to me. And so men have gotten a lot of mixed signals around, you know, the reality is the difference between a romantic moment and a creepy moment is the perceived attractiveness of the person who initiates it.
Yep.
And men don't want to be that guy.
Sure you did. But wait, parthenogenesis is not a thing in humans. And for those that aren't familiar with what that is the development of an embryo from an unfertilized egg. So for you ladies that want to take credit for bringing all life into this world, don't forget to mention those that helped.
What the is with men and their hurt feelings towards the idea of yearning for a female? Everything's gotta be, oh, bro, you're a simp. God forbid he shows emotion towards a woman. Quite frankly, I swear to God, if I end up with someone in this life, if he's not the biggest simp for me, I literally don't want it. If he can't yearn, I don't want it. I don't want it. Like, bro, if you can't make me feel something, get out of my face. You're not in love.
If he's not paying your bills, don't listen to him. If she has to pay her own rent, her own lashes, get her hair done, her nails done, buy her old clothes, why should she listen to you? Being a leader costs money. Being a leader isn't free. Being a leader doesn't come with a discount. Why should she take life advice from a man that's unable to elevate her life? Why should she commit herself, be loyal to a man that's unable to provide her every need? You men are in the way. And then you want something for nothing. If he can lay next to you and watch you get out of bed exhausted and go to a job that you can't stand, that man don't love you. He hates you. Only a man can sleep comfortably next to a person he hates, knowing they're overly worked, exhausted, tired while bills are stacking up. Ladies, them ridding space in your mind isn't free. Them being a leader in your life isn't free. Them trying to give you guidance in your life, it isn't free. Charge for everything. Because babies come from you. All praises.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
When your man doesn't have a strong lead, how the are you meant to surrender? You can't. You're not being led. So you're just like, ugh. And the man is just lost in the dance of life. Lost in the dance of life. Too much chaos, everything going on. Like, I'm just enjoying myself over here, forgetting that actually a huge part of his role, if he wants to feel his woman in the feminine, is to fucking guide her. Where we get it a little bit twisted is it's like, women, be in your feminine, like find your divine feminine without like a strong lead.
You know, I'm so sick of being strong now. I'm sick of it. I just want to be soft. I'm sick of constantly fighting for things to work out, to get everything together, to have everything sorted. I don't want to be strong anymore. I don't want to be robust. I don't want to be pragmatic. I don't want to sort out logistics anymore. I just want to be soft. I've had enough.
There's no gender confusion in my house.
There's no gender confusion in my house. He is a boy. And my daughter, who's about to be born, is going to be a girl. These teachers think they're doing God's work by trying to help a child that doesn't even understand what their is learn to get rid of it at an early age. Dude, there's signs up that literally says, if you think you're don't tell your parents, come tell us and we'll talk to you about it. My son is a boy, and he will be told that he is a boy growing into a man very specifically and very clearly. You go in the boys' washroom, you do boy The last thing I need is for my boy to start being confused because at a young age he had some random insecure adult start manipulating
this is why I
his
take
mind.
my kids out of public school.
Men are not dating women who don't give them sex. Men are not going to date a woman who's not going to give them. At least the majority of them. A lot of women are surprised by that, which surprises me. Why is that surprising? Have you met men? Anyway, for a lot of men, that's all they really want from us. There's nothing else they really want or need. Don't care about our degrees, accomplishments. A lot of them thinks our personalities suck. They can cook and clean for themselves. And love? They want respect. We're the ones that want love. At least that's what I hear. So at the end of the day, this modern age, all they want and respect. These aren't my words. See men say this. I also hear men say, so what's the big deal? You get to enjoy this too while getting protected and provided for. But if you're not getting protected and provided for, in this modern age of equality and 50-50, it's whack. Maybe there needs to be another conversation. With that, got me thinking. A lot of men don't like women's personalities. A lot of women don't like men's personalities. Women want to be provided for. So if these basics aren't fulfilled, do we see a point in dating each other? If he's not getting the and she's not getting the provisions, and we don't really like each other, personality-wise, then what do you guys think?
Lay him cheating. That's it. You ready? Keep him broke. If he has no money, he can't entertain any new women. Because here's the fact. To get a new woman is expensive. It's gifts, shopping, whatever it is. He's trying to impress her. So if you keep his wallet empty, he can't do that.
First of all, date a man that won't cheat, and you're set. Next, there are plenty of women out there who, they don't need money. They don't need him to spend money on her. She'll just do that with him anyways. That's why you need a man with integrity. There's a lot of good men out there who would never cheat. You need to have one of those. Because let's be real here, some women just enjoy being around men who are taken. That's why if a man wears like a wedding ring, he's more likely to be flirted with other women. Because some women are so toxic, they just want to see if they can do that with him. If they can win him over. Because it scratches this weird itch that she might have that, oh, if I can take him, I must be very valuable as a woman. Even though the reality is that person that's willing to cheat is just garbage anyways.
Oh, and here's another thing. All these men talk on my video because I said I don't build with no man, but they never want to talk about the women that took the risk and built with a man and got left for dead. Yeah, men don't build with women they actually want or find attractive. They find easy to manipulate, low self-esteem, unconventionally attractive women to do that with. And once they get to where they want to be, guess what? Kanye West said it best. He leave your ass for a white girl, right? So why would I take the risk in building with a man when he could potentially take everything I did and go give it to a woman that did absolutely nothing, but because she's pretty or because she's actually who he really wants, then it's all good? No. The men don't ever want to talk about that, but they want to attack women who don't want to take the risk. Crazy.
You know, you see a lot of these women out here, and I'm telling you, man, they're on their worst behavior. They're on their worst behavior. A lot of men out here feel like a wallet to these women. That's literally it. That's all I'm good for, is a wallet to you. What can you provide? What can you buy me? What can you pay for? And the moment that you slow down, she want to leave. She want to get out the window. She want to jump out the window, go find something else to do. You know what I mean? Stick out the window with her backpack. Me and my wife were talking about those old cartoons to where they had like that little stick and a little bag, and they tie their stuff up and put it on a stick and just walk out. You know, that sort of thing. That's what these modern women are doing. Except they taking their stuff and they taking your stuff and trying to leave out the front door. They trying to take whole dump trucks of your stuff and leave out the front door. They gotten bold with it. And so a man nowadays is like, what can I expect from a woman? What is she going to give to me? And they've started asking the question outright. There was a woman talking about, I love it when a man just, and she started saying like a couple of things, and men were in the comments talking about, so basically when he buys you stuff, all of the reasons that you listed, when you whittle it down and you take out all of the fluff and all that other stuff, basically he buys me stuff. That's pretty much it. Whenever he buys me stuff, I love it when a man sends me an Uber, of course. I love it when a man buys me dinner. He pays the bill, of course. I love it when a man buys me little flowers and bags. So basically, I love it when he buys me stuff. That's pretty much it. And men are looking for more nowadays. They're requesting more nowadays. I know modern women probably don't want to hear that. I know modern women probably don't care, but men are requesting more from you nowadays. You need to actually come with a personality. You need to actually like the guy in order to receive a date from the guy.
You guys want to see an example of a wife getting offended that her husband has to talk to other women at his work? Here it is.
Okay, yep. Well, it was good chatting with you. Appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, if you need anything, just holler at me. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Yes, ma'am. You too. Okay. Okay, sounds good. All right, bye.
The problem that I see with this is that that man followed everything to a T by the book. Like, he did nothing wrong. He was warm, kind, and professional, and he wanted to get off the phone. Also, men that are very interested in another woman, like, he doesn't want to get off the phone. And some women got after him for using the term ma'am, which I see as like super formal. That's not a term that you would use on a woman that you're really interested in. Maybe some of you will disagree on that, but from my viewpoint, the man did nothing wrong to signal any sort of red flags. All this is coming from is internal stuff from within the wife. And as long as she can recognize that and she doesn't end up giving her man the silent treatment or treating him terribly, then hopefully she can just learn from it, work on it, and grow from it. Otherwise, that husband is probably never going to know peace.
You need to have limits because takers don't have any. I love that quote. And no, this doesn't mean you need to have every relationship hyper-transactional where you're keeping track of every little thing. In fact, you shouldn't, but you still need to kind of have an idea. Some of us are guilty of having a good chunk of our identity wrapped in the loyalty we bring to others. And while this isn't inherently bad most of the time, when you encounter someone who's just going to take, they realize that quick. And that's how we end up used. It's important to pay attention. Do they actually reciprocate? Do they try their best? And their best may not be as good as your best, to be fair. But sometimes we give those people a little too much credit, and then they get away with using us longer. They may not even care about us as human beings, and that can be really painful. And the hardest part for some of us is realization that we need to pour more into ourselves rather than these other people that just keep taking without even having any ounce of gratitude. And let's be real here, sometimes we're so busy giving to those takers that we're giving less to the people that actually reciprocate and bring value into our lives. Pay attention to those people. Maybe they're not getting enough from you because you're too busy giving to this person that doesn't care about you at the end of the day.
Just because someone is a good person does not mean that they are a good partner. And just because someone is a good person doesn't mean that they are good for you. A good man by societal standards is one that doesn't hit you, doesn't cheat on you, isn't verbally abusive. But to be honest, those things are the bare minimum to be in a relationship. And there could be so many other ways in which they are not able or not willing to show up for you as a partner. They might not be emotionally available. They might not be attuned to your wants or your needs. They might not be able to meet your wants and your needs. They might not be willing or able to contribute to the mental or emotional labor of running a household. Maybe the two of you just grew apart. There are many, many reasons why you might leave a quote-unquote good man. But you don't need to feel guilty about it. You don't need to listen to the people who say nasty things about women who leave quote-unquote good men. They have no idea what it's like inside your relationship, and they have no idea what kind of a partner that person was for you. It is okay to leave a good man because he might not have been good for you. And when you do this, when you get divorced, both people get the opportunity to find somebody who is a better fit for them, and both people get the opportunity to grow and become the person that they are meant to be.
Hey, I've just laid Miles down.
Okay, sweet. Are you gonna get ready?
For what?
What do you mean for what?
For what?
For our date.
What are we getting ready for? Our date?
Yeah.
Did you set us up a date?
Oh, you should.
Remember? Like a week ago, you were like, we're gonna go to dinner, you're gonna get childcare. So I was getting ready because you were gonna go out.
Sierra, I forgot.
Oh.
I completely forgot. But it's okay. No, I didn't. I'll call mom.
No, he tries to fix it.
No, I might get childcare. We're gonna go out.
No, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
We're gonna go get I'm gonna get childcare. I'm gonna get changed. I'm gonna get out of my sweats.
Obviously, do not do this to your man. It's incredibly rude and manipulative. That poor man was probably so stressed for a moment. You can tell that they have a good relationship. He immediately is like, okay, let me fix this. And he openly admitted, hey, I forgot, even though it never actually happened. Relationships like this are so good because there's open communication between both people, and he's laughing about it. He seems good about it. He's not like scared, even if he was probably scared for a moment.
You have a lot of these women, they speak in such a way that they think that they know what they're talking about, but they don't. The fact of the matter is, a lot of these modern women don't want equality. And a lot of them now are just straight up coming out and saying, no, I don't want equality. I want to be superior. As a matter of fact, I want to be taken care of because I think that's what you owe me as a man. And the man said, I don't even know you. I'm out here struggling the same way you're struggling. So how about, and it's essentially in a relationship, you're trying to find somebody that's a little bit more than a friend. You're trying to find somebody that can be a legit real-time companion, which a lot of these modern women, they don't really know how to do it. They don't really even want to do it. They're not really even interested in it. I'm looking for somebody to take care of me. I'm looking for somebody to pay my bills. Men are continuing to have to be flexible for this type of stuff, where they say, okay, well, if you don't want to pay any bills, or you're going to pay a small amount of bills, say 20% of the bills, okay, that means I have to work longer hours. I have to figure out different channels to make money, right? Now, if I am working longer hours, or I am figuring out ways to make more money, what is it that you're going to be doing? And the answer that a lot of these modern women have is nothing. I'm going to be doing absolutely nothing to contribute to this union. I'm going to be doing, I shouldn't have to do anything. I shouldn't have to. I'm a woman. I have it hard enough. Hard enough doing what? I can't, just being a woman. I can't really even tell you. And then they'll spout off stuff that they heard online, on the internet. You're lying. You need to get up. You need to get busy. You need to start doing the things that you know that you're supposed to be doing to help out in a relationship.
I'm walking down the street yesterday. I had my headphones on. This guy comes up to me. He's like, I said, what do you want? He said, I just want to let you know you're really beautiful. I just have to tell you that. I said, me? Thank you. Anyways, we get to talking. He's like, my name's Nick. What's your name? And now we're doing the whole chit-chatty thing. He asked me if I'm single. I said, yes. I should have said no because I knew it was coming. And honestly, he wasn't really my type. And he asked me for my number. And I said, I'm good. But Nick, if you're watching this, please do not let my rejection stop you from doing what you're doing. The art of picking up a girl in real life is, and as a girly pop who's been sitting here contemplating, like, this is really it. Like, I don't be doing the apps. I don't be doing, like, I don't go out. Like, this might be it. This might be it. Nick, you are doing such a good thing. Do not let my rejection stop. Let it be redirection. Let my rejection be redirection. You are going to find your girly pop. It's not me, but you're going to find her. And if you're watching this, you were too tall. That's it. And that's not a bad problem to have. You're just too tall. Okay. I don't like looking up at a man. It bothers me. I don't know. There's a thing in me that's wrong. I want to look down at the that I'm dating and say, that's right, ho. It's nothing to do with you, Nick. Okay? Love you.
I was falsely accused of sexual assault, thrown in prison, bailed out on $250,000 bail with no criminal record. I hired a private detective. We learned that this person had done it many times in other states. They drugged me in the bar on camera, multiple eyewitnesses.
Did the person in question go to prison after?
They had zero interest in prosecuting a girl who made the story up, never showed up to court again. I had to fight for 11 months, and then when I was able to prove it with video evidence, they just dismissed me.
There are so many girls that do go through that, and to falsely accuse someone that they didn't do it, and then nothing happens to them. I think that's ridiculous.
Well, the problem is the women that do the false accusing, they really hurt the girls that really were hurt. I'm not going to let one evil person, when there's 100 great people and one bad person, I'm not going to let that person ruin my outlook on life.
I really appreciate this man coming on camera and telling his story, because all too often, even when a man is proven innocent, he has fear of even talking about the situation because there's so many people that will still think that he did something. Men that are falsely accused absolutely have long-lasting consequences. And I'm honestly tired of seeing content out there from women that say otherwise. I think they would like to think that nothing negative happens to a man's life, so you might as well believe the woman as soon as she accuses him. But that's not true, hence why it is so important why men like this speak up. It is also why all of us, men and women, should absolutely be on board with laws that give consequences to false accusations. Because to not have that, which is the system that we are in right now, there are people becoming victims within our justice system, and that is messed up.
When it comes to like hobbies and interests and things that you can learn on this app, I have been very vocal about the fact that we should be following women that do those things. Like if you're currently following a man, unfollow them, find a woman who does it because she's probably doing it better. You're going to learn more from her anyway. I was reminded of when I was first learning how to meal plan and I was working out, and I've already talked about this, like I never liked having male trainers or getting advice from men because they don't have women's bodies or hormones. So they just like to work out very stressfully, and I don't like to work out stressfully. Anyway, don't get me started on meal plans, which a lot of time is just like various forms of ground beef, maybe sweet potatoes, and then like a green of some kind, and just like various combinations of that are really gross. And like dessert, what dessert? They don't do desserts. Like sugar, ew, gross. Like eat a banana. So many of them ate so many bananas. It's like, God, why do you love bananas so much? Anyway, when I started following women creators who had meal plans and they had like done the calculations of the macros and the body weight, and they would do like a what I eat in the day, it looked better. It had more ingredients in it. Some of the desserts, just like there's a person on here I had from my other account where like she makes various jello recipes that have like protein in them, and they just are more whimsically better than what men are doing with food. And I'm just thinking of like the men that I know that they just don't eat well, especially the ones that work out. Like I went to a guy's house one time in a beautiful house, gigantic, beautiful refrigerator of the future. I opened that motherfucker up. It was less than half empty. Like all these empty shelves and just like that man kibble and like 2 sauces. And I was just like, I think you might have an eating disorder, sir. This isn't like this. And then like when I was coming over, I would make sure, like at the time I was communicating to men. Now I'm not, but what I mean by communicating is telling them what I want instead of just seeing if they provide it on their own volition. But he did not have snacks for me when I came over. So I kind of made it a thing, like, oh, well, there were snacks because I'm hungry. And they'd be like, oh yeah. And then, he'd go buy something, or we'd go to the store together. But like, there was a time when we went to the store together, and then I'm here preparing the charcuterie, and I'm like, why am I preparing the charcuterie in your home, sir? But in addition to that, he doesn't know how to prepare a charcuterie. Like, they know what it is. Their moms probably do it, but he doesn't know how to do it. I know people say, oh, he's plain dumb, he's plain. But he couldn't even, like, he didn't even know how to really eat it. And then he'd be like, oh, like, this is actually pretty good. And I was thinking, I think that, one, he doesn't know how to do this and he doesn't want to say so. But also, I think he has an ED and he doesn't want me to know. And so he's performing, liking the food that I like. So we bond over this. But, like, I feel like he might have gone and, like, not eaten for a while after that. Anyway, I am ever in my pursuit for joy and whimsicality and doing things as a lady of leisure, as some of you found in my video. I don't like the struggle. I want to hear about their struggle. I'm a lady of leisure. I like leisurely things. I hold the standard to even women that are in my life. We need to have a leisurely relationship. But I have yet to find a man who has a really good snack game. But it is on my list, so maybe.
I mean, you just have to listen to these women to understand that their mindset is warped. You just have to listen to them to understand that they don't know what they're talking about. It's just a bunch of foolishness. It's just a bunch of stupidity, man. What are we talking about? All these men are pimps. They're this, they're that. How? Well, because he making me come up with my half. You stay in the house too, don't you? You're not a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home girlfriend. You're not doing anything around the house. So what are you expecting from him? What are you expecting out of this transaction? What are you expecting out of this relationship? I mean, my God, these modern women really have, what's crazy is they have the audacity to be out here saying, how dare he do this to me? When all they're really talking about is being a normal human being, acting and behaving as a normal adult. That's what they're talking about. How dare he have the audacity as a man? I know my grandfather used to treat my grandmother like a baby because he would pay this, he would do that, he would do all this stuff, and she never even had to lift a finger. Why do y'all think that y'all grandmother wasn't lifting a finger? Your grandmother used to actually have to cook. She actually cooked. Even when she didn't enjoy it, I'm cooking for these kids. I'm taking care of these babies. Now back then, communities were smaller, so they could, and safer, I would dare to say. So having to drive the kids to school wasn't really a thing. If they wasn't riding the bus, they could actually walk. Them, their friends, wasn't nobody acting silly. Well, you probably get into trouble here and there, but for the most part, I can count on you to get to school and get back with no trouble. And Mr. or Miss Johnson down the street see you acting a fool, they're gonna give me a call, and by the time you get home, I already know that you've been acting a fool. So there's a lot of things that you used to be able to do. There's a lot of things that women didn't have to do that they have to do nowadays, and vice versa, right? But what you're wanting is a man to kind of continue to do those same things that men used to do, but then also adapt and do the things that you're requesting men do nowadays. And what you're wanting to say is, I want to cut out that portion where my grandmother had to do X, Y, and Z, but I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be the boss babe. I'm going to be able to just take off and do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. And a man is like, I thought you said we were a team. That doesn't seem very fair. Well, it's society and we live in a patriarchy. So you should be happy that I'm doing this. And as a matter of fact, my contribution to the relationship is me just being here. I'll see you at 9. It's just stupid stuff.
I want to have a crush on someone who also has a crush on me, but I don't want to be their girlfriend, and I want them to be okay with the fact that I don't want to be their girlfriend. I do want to see this person somewhat consistently. However, I will need 3 to 5 business days in between any interaction that we have, and I don't really want to text that much, especially just to ask what I'm doing, unless we're making plans to do something together. And I want this to be someone that I can do literally anything with, whether that's casually hanging out during the week or going to the gym together or going on a road trip, going skydiving, planning a week-long vacation.
She could have just said the first line and I would have been like, peace out. The second she said she didn't want to be a girlfriend, peace out. That's like damaged goods, right? Because women don't talk like that. Women who are in touch with their femininity, women who haven't been, listening to all the brainwashing, women who are out for the right reasons, women who are in touch with what it means to be a virtuous woman, they want to be a girlfriend.
My first date cockblocked me from the hottest firefighter I have ever seen. So I went on a first date with this guy from Hinge, and I know I told you guys I was over Hinge, but I am a liar. I went back and I tried it out, and nope, still over it. We went on a walk, and I literally saw the most beautiful firefighter. So if anyone knows, it was Sunday around 10 a.m. by Seaport Village in San Diego. He's tall, dark hair, blue eyes, and like a sleeve.
I'm sorry, did you want the man that took you on the date to apologize? Because I bet you anything that man just put in a ton of effort into talking to you, to building some sort of connection, and then asking you out on that date that he planned. And here you are making a video complaining about his presence because on that date you saw somebody that you were really attracted to. But at least for that man, you decided to make this video. He will probably see it, and then he will rest assured that he was able to avoid the red flags, because that woman, like all too many women these days, are becoming very, very bold in displaying their red flags, especially on social media, and thinking that they're not red flags. Like, do you think that the firefighter, even if he's single and sees this, and even if people point out who he is and then you're able to find him, do you think that he's actually going to be interested in a woman that was interested in him on a first date and then made a video claiming that her first date that took her on that date was blocking her? I don't think so, because the chances of him living a peaceful existence with you by his side is probably non-existent.
Modern women keep on pointing men to books. Oh, you don't know how to court a woman. You don't know how to pursue a woman. Do you know that? I think a woman said something about when Harry met Sally in a notebook and stuff like that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not wasting it. I don't even know what Harry Met Sally is, to be honest. I know it's a movie, but I don't even know what it's about. I don't want to know what it's about. Because if you're talking about it as a modern woman, it's probably a humiliation ritual. Woo me, court me, over the course of an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. And really in the movie, you watch a whole hour and a half of a man in the context of a movie is probably months on years sometimes. A man trying to get this woman's attention. Walking, and it be walking up on a woman and compromising places, and a man and another man's arm in the club, arms in the club, sitting having dinner with another man, walking up, woman about to get married, walking in and kicking the door in to somebody else's church, ruining their stuff. They spent thousands of dollars. No, I can't let you marry him. This man is not going to get a refund back. He's not going to get his deposit back. But I want you just to abandon it all. Walk in there and come get me. Stupid. How come you didn't have that sort of consideration and that idea before y'all walked your stupid behind in that church house, in that courtroom? Oh, we about to go on a honeymoon, babe. I got this for you. I got this. How much it cost you, bro? Man, cost me a cool $5,000-$10,000. And in the ring, man, I paid about $3,000 for that. That's not chump change. But what modern women want is a man to continue to pursue, no matter what the circumstance. Embarrass yourself, trash yourself out, humiliate yourself. Give me the option to walk away from this man in front of 20. Never mind that some of these foolish women, some of these foolish women be having destination weddings. You got to plan. You got to get off work. You have to buy a ticket. You have to buy a suit or a dress if you're a bridesmaid, whatever. You have to get dressed. You have to be prepared. And you're going to spend some money, and you're going to get some him some money or a wedding gift or something like that. Abandon all of it. Throw it all away. Throw it all away just to make me feel wanted. Oh, you're so right. I'm sorry. I really love you, and you've been really good to me. With the passion and what he's showing me. Oh, I really got to marry him. This is my forever person. And she expecting that man, she living at the altar to say, yeah, I just spent $15,000. It doesn't matter. Stupid.
I have called you 5 times. 5 times. This is the that pisses me off.
So wait, why is he partying? Why
think
would
you
crazy
have
be
to
good?
fucking
I draw a lot of angry women because you gotta go with what you know. Here's one making a false accusation and lashing out. People call this behavior crazy because they don't get it. I've spoken about projection before. That's when you feel something and then you imagine that somebody else did something to cause it even though they didn't. So he's happy because she's angry that he didn't answer the phone.
5 times. This is the that pisses me off.
He knows that she's imagining him doing something bad. Why is that good? Because that means that she cares what he's doing when she's not around. And she's imagining bad things and that he might have done them. And she wouldn't spend her energy on that if she did not like him. She's defending him from other women. So when women get crazy, they're actually just being territorial. Because if I don't know what you're doing, then it could be bad for me. Because you have passed my tests, and now we are connected. So this is my business. Sometimes this is how they say I like you.
I don't want to hear you had your
Actual facts of the matter are that marriage is an institution that is absolutely terrible for women. It is a garbage deal. A friend of mine said recently, if marriage benefited women, they would have taken it from us already. Right? Because they're taking away everything else that's good for women.
Like
But they're like, get married. Yeah. You should get married though.
Yeah.
Right? Married women do not live as long as single women. They do not earn as much money as single women. They are not as happy as single women. They are more likely to suffer from addiction than single women. They are more likely to commit suicide than single women. They are more likely to have homicide than single women. They report themselves in every single way that you can measure sociological data for wellness as being less contented than single women. Interesting. Interesting, given that it's the goal that you are taught is the thing that if you can achieve is going to make you happy. Conversely, married men, and this research has been done on men and women. No research has been done on women and women, men and men. I'll get to that in a little bit, but traditional cisgendered heterosexual marriage, married men, on the other hand, married to women, outperform single men by such a measure that it is perhaps the healthiest thing that a man can do is to get a woman to marry him. Married men live longer, they're healthier, they make more money, they advance more in their careers, they're more creative, they're less likely to commit suicide, they're less likely to homicide, they're less likely to in car accidents, in every single possible way. The best thing a man can do is to get married to a woman. The worst thing a woman can do, statistically speaking, is to get married to a man.
If men were to hypothetically disappear, women would thrive.
What? No, in point of fact, women would not start to thrive, as some individuals seem to think, if men just suddenly, poof, were to disappear. No, that wouldn't happen. I mean, there are a lot of easier ways to say that one just doesn't like men. It's not that hard to say. It's not that hard to admit. Just because one's afraid of a little backlash for being a misandrist, well, I mean, that's entirely understandable. But it's just a lot easier to say that one doesn't like men as opposed to trying to make up little scenarios that will never possibly exist. Because women would not, in fact, thrive without men. First of all, there are many jobs every single day that are performed mainly by men. Yes, some women do them. However, it's mainly by men, most of which are dangerous, uncomfortable, or dirty, but are necessary for society to actually proceed and continue on a daily basis. And then there's the jobs that actually provide those little luxuries that many women actually consider to be the necessities of life, so they couldn't thrive without those things. But the most important part about all this is if men weren't around, a lot of women would actually have nothing to do and no one to blame, because it seems to be a lot of women's time is taken up just with worrying about what men are doing, what they're saying, and what they're thinking. And if they suddenly disappeared, they couldn't possibly thrive, because then they'd have to take some accountability of their own actions and actually look inward to see what they're actually doing and how they contribute to some of the problems that actually exist in the world currently. So no, instead of making up these little scenarios where men don't actually exist and women will pretend to thrive, how about we just face reality and the fact that women need men just as much as men need women?
Hey, it's okay if you didn't finish college. That's fine.
Do you think I didn't finish college?
I mean, that's the vibe I'm getting right now. I don't know.
Where do you go to school?
Here at OU.
What's your degree?
Arts.
Arts?
Yeah.
Which one?
Studio.
Studio? You want to know some funny thing?
What is the funny thing?
I actually started school at the University of Oklahoma.
I bet you did.
As an art student.
Oh, I bet you did.
Studio. I did about a year and a half of studio art. Then I took some philosophy classes. Then I get my undergraduate degree in philosophy with a minor in history of science.
And you did all that and you still chose to be out here doing
And philosophy. And then, crazy enough, because I had gotten really into the history of science, I stayed at the University of Oklahoma and I got a master's degree in the history of science.
Good for you.
And the entire time, I was a funded student, teaching, no less. Whenever I was, what's the name of the biggest scholarship that you can get as an incoming studio art student?
I don't even know. I was an incoming biology student and I went to that class and I said, this sounds lame, so I chose the art degree.
So I had the Selma Nafee scholarship entering the studio art program.
Wait, hold on, sorry. I gotta look for gold stars really quick. I don't know if I have any gold stars.
See, the thing is you brought it up and you said, because I was an advocate of extending the laws against equally to all people, that I must not have gone to school. And I started to tell you that I went to the school longer than you have and longer than you will.
You got a degree, and that's really, really awesome for you.
Not a degree.
I don't give that much of a fuck.
Multiple degrees.
Awesome.
Not what I base my argument on, but that is how I refute your assertion and accusation that I'm clearly uneducated.
Okay.
I think what concerns me is we have, once again, the older women who are supposed to know better, saying downright stupid stuff. Just downright stupid. At your age, 50, going into 60 years old. Saying stupid stuff. Well, if a man can't pay his bills with you there, then what kind of man is he? If a man is asking for your half on the bills, then what kind of man is he? People in the comments talking about, oh yeah, put another bill on him because my grandmother kept on making my grandfather pay bills, and my dad did the same thing for my mom, and yada, 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 yada. I guess what y'all don't understand is when somebody else comes into your life, you're 2xing. Sometimes, depending on how they live, 3xing your bills. Don't have children, because now it's 3 to 5, 3 to 6x. You're paying 3 to 6 times the amount of bills. Insurance doubles, triples, quadruples. Oh, well, it ain't okay. Go online and find some insurance then. Pray to God that you find it through your employer. What are we talking about here? What do we, then you got, if you have a family, you got to get, even if you have just somebody that it's just you and them. If you have a 1-bedroom apartment, that could work, hopefully, if they don't have a lot of stuff. But a lot of times they're going to come with their own stuff. So a lot of times you might get a 2-bedroom, probably going to be more rent. God forbid they have more stuff that they have. At the very least, you get a 1-bedroom apartment and now you're renting a storage shed. Oh, well, we're just going to keep this as storage until, we find somewhere to move, and then we can put it downstairs. But most of the time, you're not going to be getting a 2-bedroom home. You're probably going to get a 3-2. That's probably going to be the starter home for most Americans. At least it used to be maybe 10, 15 years ago. Probably going to be 3-2. Hopefully, somewhere around 1,500 square feet. You used to see houses for $150K around that area, 3-2, around 1,500 to 1,700 square feet. But nowadays it's smaller than that for more money. So you're going to have to, at some point in time, you're going to have to pay for all of that. And I would hope at some point in time that modern women, older women, would do the math and say, I see why he needs help. Let me see where I can assist that. Modern women are not acting like men are their friends, that this is your partner, this is your companion. They're not acting like that. They're acting like this man is somebody that's supposed to be working for them. And now we're not talking about have a man that's broke and he's a bum and he's not really doing anything and he's lazy. But y'all continue to try to heap stuff on top of a man without helping him, allowing him to sink. And when that man finally gets that monkey off his back, and then he turns and looks at you, why weren't you helping me? You saw me drowning. Well, I ain't strong enough to pull you out. Well, you could have thought. You could have used your brain to say, oh shoot, there's a rope. I'm gonna throw him one end of the rope. Now, baby, hold on. I'm drowning, hurry up. I'm hurrying. All right, what can I do? Because I can't pull this man, he's too big. Oh shoot, there's a pillar right there. I'm gonna tie the rope right around it and I'm gonna tie it good. All right, baby, you gotta pull yourself in. That's thinking on how to leverage and help your man at the same time. I don't have the strength to help that man. I have the strength to pick that man up. But let me see what I can do. Let me see what it is that I can provide for him. Modern women do not do that anymore. They expect a man to pull their own weight, meaning myself, and then all of her weight, and then the whole entire weight of the family with no help. With no help. Why would a man do that?